Welcome back. We're in September now, and though just a few days late, let's recap the month of August. We start out with a very brief in case you missed it, as there was only one video released in August, a roundup of everything we knew about Halo Infinite at that time, which immediately became irrelevant because more news released that very day. Still, link in the description box if you're interested. Moving on now to official releases and news, there's plenty to cover here. The big news is, of course, all the news surrounding Halo Infinite, alongside being announced as having a free-to-play multiplayer and dropping 2 new music samples from Chris Schweitzer and Joel Corlitz, 2 of Halo Infinite's composers, along with interviews with both of those gentlemen. The game was announced to be delayed until a time unknown in 2021. I'm hoping for a spring or Q2 release, but we could be looking at a full year. We'll have to wait and see. On August 17th, we got a new MCC PC flight, which included new customization options for Halo 3 and Halo 3 ODST campaign and firefight. I'm sad to say I did not participate, but it looks like a lot of people had fun, and I definitely intend to make up my absence when the game comes out. All the new features look fantastic. During August, Halo Wars 2 received its first update in a while, entering Season 15 and receiving a much-requested balance update. On the Halo Gear side of things, 343 started selling cloth masks, with the promise to donate 2 to medical facilities for each one purchased. On the 31st, a new Canon fodder article dropped, revealing a new enemy, a former member of the Silent Shadow, named Jega Rudomnai, and featuring concept art and lore behind the new Gen 3 Mark 7 armor. It also revealed that the upcoming Halo Shadows of Reach novel would have a bonus story titled Sacrifice, exclusive to copies bought at Walmart or Walmart Online. I definitely had some feelings about that, which I go over in the video I made covering that article. Wrapping up August as always though is an MCC development blog. Before getting into development material though, the article opens with a shout out for Forge Hub's Forge the Fight, a community contest endorsed by 343 to make custom maps for Halo 3 matchmaking, on MCC of course. The contest ends on September 19th, and I've left a link in the description box to the details about that. Getting into the meat of the article though, we start with a look at Season 3 of MCC, which looks to only have 50 reward tiers this time, with 80 items to unlock for Halo 3 and Halo 3 ODST. Halo 3 will see new weapon skins and visors, and ODST will be unlocking, quote, new variants of the firefight characters for that game. As always, MCC includes a toggle to turn these skins on and off, allowing a more classic experience if you wish. The article also announces that Halo 2 Anniversary will be getting a customization overhaul, allowing players to select armor components on a per-piece basis like we do for Halo 3 or Reach at present. That's great news in my book. While the armor options are limited, even just being able to change the pieces is a great change of pace. We next get a look forward at what's being planned for Season 4, which is more content for Halo 3 and Reach. Notably, it talks about a long-lost item or two, which many have taken to be a reference to the mythical GRD armor that was teased back in 2011. In fact, during the early Halo Reach flights, the GRD and another armor set were found in the game's files. So it looks like we'll be finally getting those in the game. That would be awesome. The article then goes on to talk about the work being put into the custom games browser, PC file share and file/player reporting, and region selection, big ticket items that fans have been wanting basically since the collection launched last December. Following that is a huge interview with, and I'm sorry in advance if I butcher this, Dana Jerpbach, going over features like crossplay, input-based matchmaking, ODST firefight customization and matchmaking, bringing ODST weapons into Halo 3, and more. It's a great interview that dives into the challenges the team had to overcome to bring these features to life. The article then wraps up with an interview with Tashi on the state of the MCC Pro Series and the state of the game, going over features and fixes and where they are in development. That wraps up the official stuff, leaving only community shoutouts. Starting things out is a Halo music video by Testbed Elite, set to Sacrifice by Jeff Williams from the Ruby soundtrack. An appropriate choice for Halo, I must say. Check it out on YouTube. Next, we have a slight redesign of the Mark 6 armor, taking some inspiration from Red Team's Mark 4 and the Chief's new Mark 6 it looks like, and even some CE Mark 5 with a pouch belt. It's a fantastic take on the armor, so be sure to check out the artist, Buzboz on Twitter. Next up, we have a Pelican model from Chokepoint Games for their Arma 3 mod, Far Isle. The model itself was created by Robert McLennan, I hope I got that right. It's a great looking asset, and I can't wait to see more on Far Isle. Check out Chokepoint Games on Twitter. After that, we have an amazing take on the Primordial by artist Rodney. This one really captures the essential cosmic horror behind the Primordial's existence in a way that few other depictions have. It's wonderfully atmospheric. Check out Rodney on Twitter. Following that is a cool fan take on the plasma rifle. This one feels more Forerunner inspired than most Canon versions, almost looking like an early prototype or something, at least to me. Check out the artist Samuel2213 on Twitter. Next up, we have this cool piece by Grune, showing a joint UNSC Swords of Sanghelios operation as part of the ANVIL initiative. This is something I'd love to see covered in Canon material more often, and the lore Grune came up with for this piece is fantastic. Check him out on Twitter. We next have a Halo homage to 1988's Akira by Vaz. Not much else to say, it's a damn perfect homage to a great film. Check out Vaz on Twitter. Following that, we have some cool custom weapon skins by Xbox, these ones in particular for the Didact's hand. Y has been doing a few of these over the past month, all of them spectacular. I'd love if something like this came to Halo 4 and MCC. For now though, check out Xbox on Twitter. After that, we have a metal cover of Set a Fire in Your Heart by YouTuber Chicken Alexander Bonez. I love covers like this, and I'm sure I'm not alone. Check it out on YouTube. Next, we have some fantastic Kinsano art by Dagger-6 Art. Kinsano is one of the most interesting leaders in Halo Wars 2 from a lore point of view, certainly the most interesting UNSC leader in my opinion. I hope we get to see more of her in the future, again in terms of lore. For now though, check out Dagger6 on Twitter. After that, we have a wonderful Halo Infinite fan poster by JINNSLAYERS. Damn, would I love to have something like this hanging in my room. Check out the artist on Twitter. Next is an homage to the Master Chief, showing the evolution of his armor throughout the years. I love the aesthetic and feel of this poster. Be sure to check out the artist YuriL343 on Twitter. Following that is a fantastic piece by Jafet Meza, I'm sorry if I butchered that, featuring the Chief and Arbiter. Titled Machine and Flesh, it's just great. You can check out Jafet on Twitter, where he posts other art and music. Next, we have a piece by Deacon of the Lord of Admirals. Not much else to say, it's just fantastic. Check out Deacon on Twitter. After that, we have this piece by Venom depicting a Spartan in one of the armor stations we see in Halo 4. Check out Mo on Twitter. Next up is a piece with some Sangheli and Kegyar in a marketplace, and I get a major Venezia vibe from it. I don't know if the artist, Wildcat144, is familiar with the EU or Venezia in specific, but this brings to life what I imagine parts of that world would look like. Check out Wildcat144 on Twitter. Next up, we have a Halo Reach Spartan dual-wielding energy maces. Badass. Check out the artist, File, on Twitter. Going back to posters again, we have one showing off Halo's various factions by 2 Embers Art. Check it out on Twitter, and 2 Embers, if you see this, let me know if you have like a Twitter, an art station, DeviantArt, anything like that where you share your art. I'd love to share that in specific. Next up is a cool comic cover by Chris Boutin, I hope I got that right, titled Fireteam Sundown. I especially love the Warren version that he made. I'd love some Halo comics to give focus to side stories like this someday, but for now, you can check out the artist on Twitter. Next is something really cool, some Halo armor inspired by the ancient Aztec warriors by Hicox. I'd love something like this in-game, and I don't think it's much of a stretch given that we already have Achilles and Hayabusa in them. This is a really cool take on Mjolnir, so check out Hicox on Twitter. Next, we have a Pulse Carbine prop created by Andrew Cook. It's a damn fine recreation, especially considering it was hand-carved. Be sure to check him out on Twitter. After that, we have a cool Mega Construct stop-motion animation from the folks at Podcast Evolved titled Become Hope. Check it out on YouTube. After that is an amazing color pencil piece of the Chief in his Halo 4/5 armor by MrBjorn. It looks absolutely stunning. Check him out on Instagram. Next up, we have this piece by Turtle Salad 711 of the Chief standing down against Atriox. Damn, does it look cool. Check it out on Reddit. After that is an amazing build of the Mangler by Skookum Props. Check him out on Instagram. Our penultimate shoutout goes to Wookie Cookies 1 with this amazing Lego Banished Scarab. Check out the full gallery of it on Imgur. And as always, we wrap up with a shoutout for the Halo Community Spotlight, filled to the brim with fantastic creations of all kinds, from traditional art to music to tattoos to forge art and more. 2 spotlights released this month. Be sure to check them both out on Halo Waypoint. And of course, check out all the artists and creators mentioned here. All of them have been linked in the description box below. That wraps up the monthly recap. Thanks for watching, and until next time, this has been Halo Canon. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider subscribing, and if you really love me, hit that notification bell and leave a thumbs up. These both really help out the channel. I wouldn't be where I am now without your views and support, so once again, thank you. Keep on being awesome, Canonites.